My favorite importers, and his name's Eric Solomon. And you know a little bit about Eric Solomon. Go ahead and
he's
tell him
a
what you
very unique winemaker, and he travels and looks for indigenous areas and grapes to add to his selection. So he's looking for very unique things that people wouldn't usually seek out.
He finds these rare gems. He goes out, and his whole thing is he's got lots of Spanish wines that he imports. He has French wines, a little bit of Portugal wines, and a little bit of Switzerland wines. But what he does is he's more focused on the terroir of the area and not the process of making the wine. His mantra is he's into the process, or into the place, not the process. Matter of fact, I like to read something from what he said, and I totally agree. It kind of fits the theme with Vino Bello. We try to pull in wines that are special, unique wines that you're not going to go down and see at the grocery store, or go to Walmart and pick up a wine. You're not going to see these wines. These are small production wines. These are made by families who've been doing it for ages. It's not some mass-produced thing where they truck in tons of stainless steel tanks and go through the full production. It's really all about the winemaking and where it's coming from. And this is a little part that Eric wrote about this, and I totally agree with him. I'm a huge proponent of indigenous varietals, which is what we love to bring into Vino Bello. We bring in grape types that people never hear of. They're just clueless. We brought one in just a couple weeks ago called Godeo, and beautiful wine made from an indigenous grape. People will never hear it here unless someone sits it in front of them and makes them taste it. But he goes on to say, I don't want a Chardonnay from Spain or a Merlot from Portugal. That's like going to Tuscany and ordering Sicilian food. I plan to build a portfolio that focuses on terroir. I really want to identify and rescue varietals that have been nearly wiped out in a quest for designer grapes. There's a sea of stuff out there that has been ignored. The true regional wines. That's a quote from Eric Solomon. I think he's right on that. These special places that we have, different areas making grapes, they're just obscure places, and they don't get the notoriety of the big Cabernet, big Syrah, or Bordeaux. They just don't have the glam. And Eric goes in like the CIA investigating and finds these people who make this wine in these wonderful areas and brings them out and imports them into the U.S. and we get to drink them here. So that's a little background about Eric Solomon, which is one of my favorite importers. Another favorite of mine is Jorge Ordonez. He does something real similar to Eric. So the wines that they bring in are incredible, and the value, the costs are very low. So this wine here from Eric Solomon, Michelle.
It's from Bodegas Castano, and it's the Solanera. How did I say that? Solanera. I butchered that. It's a 2007. It's a blend. It has 65% Monastrol, 20% Cabernet Sauvignon, and a 15% Grenache Tinto Torre. Also, this is made by Rome.
Rira. Did you say
Whatever.
20?
Whatever.
Whatever.
This is created by Roman Castano, and his family started this business up in the early 80s. And
They're supposed to have a state-of-the-art winery.
Right, and currently it's ran by one of his sons, and it's still pretty much the family still involved in every aspect of it. This particular cuvee of Eric Solomon's is aged 10 months in French and American oak wine barrels. As you can see, it's a very dark purple color. You get the sense of blackberries, blueberries, and some flower tones in that also. And the taste, you also pick up the red berries in that also. And it's very powerful, not overly tannic, and it's a great wine. It's a 90-point rating. All of his vintages of this particular cuvee have all been 90 ratings plus. So you definitely can't go wrong with this for $14.99. It's just out of this world.
14.5% alcohol by volume, so it's pretty high alcohol. In comparison, this is just 10% alcohol, so you can see this is a much bigger wine. 14.5.
It has a long finish on it also.
It's spicy. I get a lot of spice to it.
And picking up
And
a lot
some,
of the berries,
Yeah, like blueberries.
blackberries.
Yeah, that's, like a lot of dark fruit.
Right, even the tone is a very, very dark purple.
The finish on it goes on.
Yeah, it's a long finish. And this is also made of vines that are 40-year-old vines.
From Yecla, Spain. It's in the southern region of Spain.
But it's definitely a great blend. Something good to get somebody into drinking some red wines that are more powerful, but not as powerful, just going like a straight Cabernet. So this is a nice
this has some good
lead
acidity.
up to that.
Really good acidity. Cut right through food and be a good food wine.
I love the way it smells. The scents are just out of this world.
You have to love Eric Solomon. He just brings in. I don't think I've tasted one of his wines that weren't a very good wine that he imports. He finds stuff that's just nowhere to be found, and he finds it and brings it into us. $14.99 on the Solanera Castano,
Which is again a 90 rating.
Yeah, 90 points. Robert Parker, $14. I mean, this would be blowing away wines. Twice the cost of this, easily.
Right. This would actually, both of these would be fun to do in a blind tasting at maybe a dinner party.
Yeah, you take
have.
a blind tasting. You take a Solanera and something else that costs quite a bit more. Say you take a $30 bottle of wine. You got this $14.99. Put them together and see which ones the patrons like. It'll be interesting.
And again, that's what Vino Bello is about. We try to find these very unique wines that are very reasonable but highly rated, and you just definitely won't go wrong with them. They're all handpicked by us, and we bring them in, and everybody just usually enjoys our selections that we have.
This concludes the tastings of these two wines. So, cheers.
We'll see you next time. Thank you.